Welcome to our video on understanding and overcoming bias. Bias is a widespread human condition where individuals favor their own beliefs over others, often unconsciously leading to a narrow perspective. Bias is not just a preference, it's a mental framework that makes one's beliefs seem like unquestioned truths. This mindset dismisses alternative viewpoints as flawed, creating a barrier to understanding. Bias manifests in various forms, but consistently involves the belief that truth belongs to a single group. It spans religious, political, social, and cultural domains, making it a universal human experience. Self-righteousness is a significant consequence of bias. It leads individuals to feel morally superior, distorting their worldview and closing the door to empathy and understanding, further entrenching divisions. A common misconception is that bias is unique to religious people. Critics often accuse them of being dogmatic, but assuming only religious people are biased is itself a biased perspective. Secular individuals may pride themselves on skepticism, believing they've escaped rigid doctrines. Ironically, they may exhibit the same bias they criticize, thinking their way is the only right one. Bias is universal. Anyone believing they hold the ultimate truth while others are misguided is engaging in bias. It's prevalent among those who consider themselves progressive or open-minded. Bias arises from a lack of understanding of prejudice. Prejudice involves prejudging situations based on existing beliefs, making assumptions about right or wrong before engaging with opposing views. Recognizing bias in oneself is challenging. It requires admitting that one's perspective is not infallible and may be shaped by personal preferences, cultural influences, and unconscious prejudices. Acknowledging bias is the first step toward mitigating it. While eliminating bias entirely is nearly impossible, we can strive to recognize, challenge, and remain open to the possibility of alternative truths. Bias is not exclusive to any group. It's a universal aspect of human thinking. Believing one has found the ultimate truth while others are misguided is a characteristic feature of bias. Whether secular or religious, conservative or progressive, everyone is susceptible to bias. The key is to be aware of its presence and question our own assumptions. Remaining open to the possibility that the truth is more complex than we think is crucial. Only by doing so can we begin to understand and address the biases shaping our perceptions. Bias is deeply rooted in human cognition. We filter information through our experiences and beliefs, making it difficult to see things from a completely neutral perspective. Human beings are meaning-making creatures, relying on frameworks of understanding to navigate the world. While we may never completely overcome bias, we can strive to challenge it. By recognizing and questioning our biases, we can foster a more inclusive and empathetic worldview. This approach helps bridge divisions and promotes understanding across different perspectives. Thank you for joining us in exploring bias. Remember, awareness and openness are key to addressing biases that shape our judgments. Let's strive for a more understanding and inclusive world.